Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Buyer Persona podcast. And I'm happy to be here today and talk to you about four headwinds that B2B buyers are facing. And I wanted to share with you, based on buyer interviews, some insights that I think are really relevant to what's happening today and how it's going to impact the B2B world. So let's get started. The first area that I wanted to talk about is what I call a talent and skills gap. One of the things that I keep hearing is that organizations are struggling to find the right talent and the right skills. Now, many of you may think this has something to do with the great resignation. That's just one factor. I think another key factor is that a lot of organizations are attempting transformation today, whether it's digital transformation, sales transformation, uh, procurement transformation, you name it. There's so many transformations going on. And with those going on, what they're struggling with is trying to find the new skills and the new expertise and the new competencies that are needed to make those transformations successful. So you'll see organizations, particularly in B2B, really struggling with finding the right talent and the new skills that are required to make transformation possible today. The second thing that I wanted to share with you is that I believe there's a productivity gap. Contrary to probably to some articles you read, how productivity is up, and I do believe that productivity is up. I think the gap, though, relate to more of a have and a have-not situation, and that really with the technology that's required to accomplish productivity. You have organizations that are able to afford to upgrade their technology and get the productivity gains they're seeking, while you have the others that are not able to afford upgrading technology and are struggling with their productivity. And so this is a have and a have not situation, and almost a chicken versus the egg situation, too, because organizations really need to upgrade their technology in order to improve their productivity, yet they can't afford to, and therefore they're suffering on the productivity side. So when you combined lack of talent, lack of skill, the inability to upgrade your technology to meet the demands of today, you're really going to struggle in the productivity gap. So this is a very key insight that I'm picking up from my buyer interviews today. The third thing is globalization will retrench. Prior to the bad news, if you will, of the last 2 days with Russia invading Ukraine, we did see, particularly in buyer interviews in Europe and Asia Pacific, this nationalistic fervor that became stronger. In other words, countries and organizations within countries were looking within first and resourcing within first when they were looking for services, products, expertise, whatever it might be. I believe with the news of today, that's only going to get stronger. And we're going to see some severe impacts, not only affecting the United States, but also the rest of the world, in particularly Europe and Asia Pacific. There's going to be a real struggle when it comes to the rising cost of energy. There'll be rising cost of resources. This is going to drastically affect globalization as we go forward into 2022 and 2023. The last item that I wanted to share with you is that the three things that I just mentioned to you, the talent and skills gap, the productivity gap, and the effect of today's environment on globalization, organizations in the B2B world are going to struggle with slower growth. So some are not going to be really on track to any growth target that they put into place last year. They're going to have to reevaluate some of the growth plans that they had, particularly if they can't expand globally. I believe that we're going to have certain segments of the B2B industry kind of struggle with slower growth. And this is going to have an impact on their ability to acquire services, acquire talent, acquire skills. So this is a serious headwind that I believe B2B organizations are going to really suffer with. So I hope that these four key insights, these four strong headwinds that are going to affect B2B will be helpful for you in understanding B2B buyers, understanding what they're facing. These are insights that come directly from buyer interviews conducted by myself, and wanted to have the opportunity to share with you. If you would like any more conversation around these, feel free to look me up on TonyZambito.com. You can schedule time with me. I'm glad to help in any way possible. So until the next episode, all my best to each of you, and thank you for tuning in today.